Hi, I'm Rachel Madison, and I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of how to sign up for Canvas and then a few of the basics. This is for both the students and parents. So if you go and type in canvas.instructure.com, that'll take you to the Canvas website. And because I'm already logged in, it's coming up like that. But this is what it will show up as. And then you can go ahead and it says need a Canvas account. Click here, it's free. Now for students, you'll click here. And I have a join code for each class that I teach, so I will provide that. And then you'll put in your full and correct name the way it shows in grading in your Davis account. And then you choose a username and a password. For parents, you click on this link, Parents Sign Up here. And you go ahead, and I'm just going to sign in as though I'm a parent. So, and then you type in your email. Because I have so many of my real emails being used, I have a goofy one from the past I'm going to use. And then this is when you need to know the username of your student or your child. And their password. Then you can go ahead and agree to the terms of use and start participating. It'll take you to this main thing where it is telling you that it's almost set up. You need to go to your email and set up your password in order to log back in the future. But for now, you can just go ahead and look at it. If you go to courses and choose, for example, this student I'm using, this test student, is 6th period digital media. It'll vary depending on what your student is taking. And the main screen will list the upcoming assignments. And this main screen pretty much looks the same for students as it does for parents. And then on the left side are some options. The most common is going to be your assignments. This lists everything that's been put up as an assignment thus far. So we have Intro to Adobe Flash. It is due January 28th. It's worth 15 points. And it's available until February 11th. The available date means that it is closed and you can't submit anything. You can't even view the assignment once it's closed. As long as you turned it in by the due date, which it will say right here, you get full points, or your child will get their full points. If they turn it in after the due date, but before it closes, then they get 80%, or less if they didn't do all of the work. But 100% work would be 80% if it's late. Also, some assignments are not even available to view until a certain date. This one cannot be viewed until the 23rd, which is tomorrow. Now, if you click on an assignment, as a parent, you only view just the details of the assignment. The due date, the points that it's worth, and here are all the details, the instructions, and as well as a grading rubric showing which part is worth what points. Now, if you're concerned about grades, you click over here where it says grades. And if you see this piece of paper icon, that means that your student has submitted an assignment. I haven't gotten around to grading it yet. If there's a score, then it's graded, and that's their score. If there's a dash, it means they have not submitted an assignment. So even if your student says, I turned it in, I swear, if there's a dash there, they did not complete the submission process and it's not there. There's also comments. So right now, this one I just did an example. It says, nice job. A lot of times when I comment, it will be, hey, you turned in the wrong file, or if you fix this, you can get some more points. So if I've done a comment, it is very good for students to take a look at those and read them. So now at this point, I'm going to log out, and I'm going as the parent, and I'm going to log back in as a student so you can see the student view. Okay, very similar on the front. It tells me recent feedback, also the assignment that's coming up. But to get a look at everything, once again, you go to Courses, 6th period. Here are the upcoming assignments, their due dates, when they're available. Now when you click on Assignments, and I click on one to get into the details, the student can now do submissions. Now usually right here it'll say Submit Assignment, and it looks just like this one, only it doesn't have the resubmit. Once an assignment's been submitted, you'll get this green checkbox and it'll say turned in. It'll even tell you, okay, down this Syracuse strong.jpg was what was submitted in this file. If you change things before the due date, you can resubmit. If you resubmit after the due date, it will be considered late, even if your first submission was on time. You can go to grades. It pretty much looks the same. Make sure you are reading comments if I give them to you. And then the last thing to be aware of is if you go up to settings. Make sure that you have an email address. See, I've got my email there. If you need to click add email address, that way if you forget your password, you're having trouble logging in, Canvas has an email address. So make sure that you do have one there. And then over here on this left hand side is notifications. There are two that are useful. Due date. That means it'll send a message to your email telling you that there is a due date for, and I have mine set to weekly. You could set it to notify me right away, daily, so you would get a daily email saying here's what's due today, or weekly and it'll tell you what's due this week. So that one is good. The other one that I highly recommend is submission comment. And that means that if I give you a comment on your assignment saying you turned in the wrong file, you need to turn in the right thing. You want to know right away so that you submit the correct file before the due date. So I would do notify me right away. That way anytime I leave you a comment, you'll know. You can look at the rest of these and decide if they apply to you. That is the main basics though of how we use Canvas in class. So thanks for watching.